Hello people, it's yet another Wednesday. This evening, I'm your host, Onana Afulo, on Wonder Woman, Sugapepper, the females edition. Today we have a guest on our show. We are going to learn so much from her. Welcome to the show, tune in and let's get to know more. Karibu to the show. What's your name? Tell us about yourself, why you're here.
Okay, I'm Roselyne Wandaki. I'm a founder of a community-based organization by the name Fight Depression and Stress, which is based in America, on your way to Angora.
Okay.
Yes.
Give us a short history about yourself, about your life, from the time you were born up to this moment here.
Roselyne Wandaki is a lady who was born and raised in Kitale, and she schooled at Tony Primary School, and later went to St. Anne's High School, St. Anne's Zoya High School, and later I joined Sierra Institute of Technology to pursue social work and community development.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've told us about your organization. Remind me the name again. It's
Fight Depression and Stress. In short, it's FEEDS.
In short, it's FEEDS.
Yes.
The organization is in this county, right?
Yes. It's in Teso South
County. So what is stress, Roselyne?
Stress is the body's response towards event, and the response can be either positive or negative.
Okay.
Yes. When it's negative, then it's distress. When it's positive, then it's eustress.
It's eustress.
Yeah.
So there is stress that is positive.
Sure.
What is, like, can you give me an example of a positive stress?
An example of a positive stress, for example, you've been working like a whole year, and now you've been given some time to go and rest.
Okay.
We call it an off or leave. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's an excitement.
Okay.
You've been working all along, but now you've been given that time to go and have some rest. You're imagining in your head what you're going to do. You're excited. You're going to meet your family. You're going to spend more time with your family. That gives you positive stress. That's positive stress.
Okay.
You wanted to get married. Another example. You wanted to get married. You've got a husband, yeah, or you are planning for a wedding.
Okay.
You don't know how the wedding is going to be, but it's something positive, of course. Getting married is something positive. Now you are excited about the wedding. Yeah, you're imagining how your wedding day will be. That is positive stress.
There was a time, a few years back, there was news about a couple that wedded, and then just immediately after their wedding, they committed suicide. The couple, they committed suicide. So now you're telling me that activities surrounded about a wedding is a positive stress. So how do you know?
It depends the type of activity. For example, the couples you're talking about, I remember they came from Kisumu, right?
Yes.
If I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Those couples, from the way it was said, it's like they had taken some loan to facilitate their wedding.
Yes.
But after the wedding, they were able to pay that loan back, and that is a negative stress. That is a distress.
Okay.
That one is the reason they ended up committing suicide. Now that's not a positive stress.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The positive stress is that they were so excited and they wanted the best wedding, and that's why they thought we need to take a loan, to facilitate our wedding, and that's what they did before the wedding, right? But then what are the repercussions after the wedding? You see, there were so many people. They ate well, they danced, they did everything, but then after they have left, they left them too.
The two of them, yes.
They had nothing else to do. They have loans, they have no money, and the only solution, they thought the only solution is to commit suicide, and that's what they did. Yes. So that was a negative stress. Yeah.
So it's when I say I'm stressed and when I say I'm depressed, is it one and the same thing?
Actually, you start, for a person to enter into depression, this person has to be stressed out first. You have to undergo stress. We've got 3 types of stress. Yeah. The first one is acute stress.
Acute stress.
Yes. Acute stress is demand and pressure. Yeah, demand and pressure from the recent past.
Okay.
That is acute stress. You think about remember it's demand from the recent past and pressure for the near future. Recent past. For example, shall I just give an example of the couples you talked about.
Okay.
Demand from the recent past, they took a loan. Yeah? They did their wedding happily.
Yes.
But that demand from the recent past that made them take the loan is the one that is making them commit suicide.
Suicide. Okay.
You getting me? That's the demand from the recent past.
Yes.
Pressure of the near future. How are they going? Now it has happened.
Yes.
Yeah? It has happened. The wedding has been okay. Everyone is happy. They have celebrated, and now they have left them too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now the near future. How am I going to pay? Unatoa wapi pesa tulipei loan?
Yes.
Hiyo ndio the near future. Akikaa chini hata fikiri apati picha. Unanipata vizuri?
Yes.
Hakuna mahali anaweza omba pesa. So anaona the only solution is to commit suicide. Hapo alikuwa undergo stress. That's acute stress.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it like the first stage?
The acute stress is very normal, and everyone has acute stress.
Okay.
But
on a daily basis or over a period of time?
On daily basis we have stress. Wewe hata wakati uko hapo ukiwa na watoto unafikiria watoto wangu watakula nini? Mimi personally nafikiria watoto wangu watakula nini sasa. Okay. That is stress.
So that counts as acute stress.
That's acute stress, just a simple stress, yeah? Okay. That anybody can handle. But if it reaches a time you cannot handle that type of stress, then you enter into episodic acute stress. Episodic acute stress.
Episodic acute stress.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the overload of acute stress. You getting me?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the overload of acute stress. Ukiwa katika ile hali ya acute stress ukose kusaidika mapema, then you learn into episodic acute stress. Then after episodic acute stress.
Now give me an example of this episodic acute stress.
Okay, episodic acute stress is an overload. Yeah? An overload of acute stress. Inaandago ni kama unaanza kumwa na kichwa pole pole. Yeah? Usipomeza dawa ama uende hospitali, hiyo kichwa sinaongezeka. Alafu inaongeza na unaanza kusikia baridi, unaanza kusikia mwili inauma. So sasa ni kama hiyo episodic acute stress. Yaani hiyo stress inaongezeka pole pole. Then usiposaidika at that level,
at episodic acute stress,
you enter into depression.
Okay.
Now that's chronic stress.
Chronic. So chronic stress is basically depression.
Yeah, chronic stress is depression. And mtu akiwa katika ile hali ya chronic stress, kurudi nyuma, it's actually 20% out of 100. Ndio as much as anaweza rudi nyuma, but really mtu ameamua sasa mimi nataka kucommit suicide. Au couples wenye tunaongelea, they decided to commit suicide because walikuwa wamefika chronic. Imagine the wife ako stressed, the husband ako stressed, na hakuna mtu kwa hiyo nyumba mwenye anaweza waongelesha. Au watu ni wawili na wote ni wagonjwa. Watafanya nini? The only solution wanaona is to commit suicide.
Okay. Yeah. So what is the number one cause of depression?
Tumesema ya kwanza tu ni madeni.
Madeni.
Yeah?
Yes.
That one, hiyo tu acha tusemeni ya kwanza cause unaona hapo post wamedai kwa sababu ya hiyo madeni walichukua kufanya wedding yao.
Yes.
That is hiyo deni. It's one cause of stress. Kuna zingine maybe gender based violence, domestic violence. We have poverty, demands in our families, like our girls maybe wanataka vitu kutoka kwa wazazi they cannot afford. Yes. They end up engaging themselves into other relationships. Yeah. Then they end up into teenage pregnancy and all that. Yeah.
But in the long run now brings in stress. And
Sure. Because like for a teenage girl, that girl is very young. Aizilinda mtoto.
Ajui hata kucarry himself.
Sure. And is now going to bring another child on her. Yeah. So this child analeta anaongezeka kwa familia.
Na hana capacity.
Yes. Now the parent is taking care of this daughter.
Okay.
Now another child has come in. Now this parent has to take care of the daughter and the child.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
That's you see how stress comes in. Mzazi mwenye alikuwa ananunua chakula maybe tuseme mfuko moja ya unga, sasa itabidi aongezeke. Huyu mtoto atakuwa mgonjwa, anafaa kwenda hospitali. This parent is the one who is going to take care of it.
Yes.
Yeah. So and that's why you find sometimes you see our teenage girls wanakuwa stressed up, wanaenda kutoa hizo ujauzito, wanatupa, wanakuwa watoto. You see such like things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the signs and symptoms of depression? If I have a friend, because most times you not like with the age of social media, this digital age, you can have a friend just go underground, haonekani, and then some months later they are back. And they keep on now giving an account of, hey, I was depressed, vitu kama hizo. Na pia, they can go underground on social media, but you meet them. Once in a while, una meet, like physically you meet them.
Sure.
And you only get to know that they were depressed on social media and not them telling you directly, Pamba, I was depressed. Because most times, for me, I'm okay. So what are the signs and symptoms to look at Dojue? This person is not fine.
First of all, you know we have our friends. If you have a friend, already you know how your friend behaves.
Yes.
When your friend is talkative, yeah, then all of a sudden this friend of yours doesn't,
withdraws.
Of course there is a question mark.
Yes.
So, and I will withdraw from friends.
And how long should this withdrawal be? Like what's the timeline of the withdrawal? Because maybe you can just withdraw maybe for 2 weeks and then you're fine. Maybe because there is something you're handling and you don't want people to know.
It depends with the person.
Okay.
Yeah. Some can withdraw like forever. I just give an example of these girls, for example, these high school girls, mmoja amepata ujauzito, walikuwa wanasoma wote high school, sio? Ampata ujauzito, hata hiyo ujauzito ikiwa bado changa, hata withdraw from friends, because ndani yake anajua ndio rafiki yangu amejua ni kwa hivi, unaona?
Yes.
Sasa zingine unaweza kupata rafiki yako amekuwa vizuri financially, amekuwa akikupeleka lunch, all of a sudden hawezi afford, unaona? Because atakipoongea na wewe, all of a sudden hata ukimwita twende out haienda. Another sign of stress, poor appetite. Mtu ana appetite.
Okay.
Mtu mwenye alikuwa anakula tu vizuri hawezi kula. And that hiyo inabidi kwa lose weight. All of a sudden. And you know the worst part of stress ni kwamba mtu anakonda immediately. Most people wanakonda haraka. Then there is others will gain weight because of the high rate of society. The high rate of appetite. Unajua kuna wale watu ambao wakishikwa na stress, they wanakula, they just eat.
Yeah.
They don't talk, they just eat. Yeah. So as answers, they hata hizi amka analala tu. Yeah. But others wengine watalala mchana, usiku halali. Na mwingine amelala tu lakini hapati usingizi. So it depends with the person. Yeah, just like they have told you, there is some that will have a high appetite, that's adding weight, and there is others that will lose their appetite, that's reducing them.
So in these 4 signs that you've given us, is there the most outstanding one as now the sure sign or symptom for depression?
Actually, it only depends with the person.
Okay.
Yeah, because there is a person mwenye anakuanga tu amenyamaza, rafiki yako tu unaongea tu rafiki yako aongeangi. But kesho akikuja anaongea mambo mob. Hata yani anaongea kabisa. Then you have to ask yourself, there is a problem. You know, he's just talking kufight hiyo challenges zenye anapitia ama ile stress ako nayo just to cover up the facts. But you as a person, because you know this person, within you will realize that this person has got a problem.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. And I read somewhere that depression is more prevalent in women than men. Is it true? And why is it more prevalent in women?
I think because women undergo a lot. Yeah. Women have got more responsibilities than men. Yeah. But you know, with men are doing a lot of depression, in fact, as for now. Because one thing, you know, men believe that they were naturally empowered. Yeah.
Hakuna kulia. Unakufa kikodoro.
Unapanga tu kikodoro. Mimi nafikiria kwa nyumba you never talk about it because
you can't.
Yeah, but as for now we are encouraging men to come out and whistle. We are encouraging men to come out and talk about it. Yeah, because most of them are dying. Recently we had a wanaume wanauliwa wengi sana. Wanauliwa tunatembelea wanaume tumeona hivyo wameuliwa. Not even fun. So we are encouraging these men to come out and talk about it. You know, like for us women, we undergo a lot of stress. But this kitu inatusaidia sana, tunachapaka tu mdomo.
Unatoka hapa uongelea ile na ile na
unaona vile napiga story hivi mimi nikirudi kwa nyumba niko tu sawa. Yeah, because nimeongea na katika ile hali ya kuongea nimetoa yale ambayo yako kwa roho yangu.
Yes.
Yeah. And you know, tunasengenya lakini sometimes tusengenya in positive way. Yeah, we get tunaitwa.
Kuna kusengenya positive kweli?
Yeah, you go out, talk about it, someone will encourage you, another will do this and this, it's up to you to do.
Sasa yule naye anatuambia shida zake, nataka tumsaidie nini, shauri yake watajipange.
Yeah.
Those such a statement, itanifanya hata mimi I can just go back and recoil into my shell because now I am sharing and then tena inakuwa ni story nyingine.
Sure, but now such kind of friends we have, you know,
I think that is the reason why depression ni mingi kwa wanawake kuliko wanaume, because when a man opens to another man, your issue bana mtu wangu ni hivi, waongee your story. But now for a lady, I come and share with you, you go and share it with another person, then I hear it from another person, and now it doubles.
Let me tell you one thing. Men are the most depressed, not women. Sisi unajua tumesema mpaka tumezoea. Hata unaonanga umepitia challenges mpaka unaambia hata akisema wacha aseme.
It's now by making them
wacha aseme. Okay. Unajua anasema yake itampata kesho. Unajua?
Yes.
Na wewe ukisema hivyo roho yako imetulia.
Yes.
Yeah? But sasa huyu mwanaume ndiye hawezi sema. Anaenda tu anakunywa pombe na wenzake lakini haizi ongea.
Inamumia
ndani. Yes. Now for me, I always encourage, nowadays I tell people that before you start talking, just look for that someone you can talk to. That's someone that you trust. That's someone that that's someone that will add something positive in your life. Maybe if I came and told you my story, maybe I'm very, very positive with my life. If I came and told you my story, and I had next day I hear it from somewhere else, I just take it in a positive way. In fact, I can never ask you about it. Yeah. In fact, you are the person who will feel guilty because you are talking about me.
What you're saying also resonates with me. After maybe like sharing my ups and downs, I share. I can even share it on social media, though not so much in depth about what I'm going through. Sure. But now the problem with today, ni kwamba you will share yes, and maybe you have some you have an expectation that if I'm sharing my problem with Rose, then Rose is able to at least reduce 10% of it. Sure. And then it doesn't happen. And once it doesn't happen, do I still slip into depression or ama nafanya nini? You're getting my point?
Yes. You see, once you've shared with someone, yeah, that will come under stress management. I know. It will come under stress management. I don't know how we can just talk about it. But if you share with someone, you will feel relieved. Only talking about it, and you can only feel it if you've done it.
Okay.
Yes, you can never feel it if you've never done it. But kama kuna kitu inakusumbua, give it a try. Just get someone, just talk to her, talk to him. Hata kama ni boyfriend, hata kama ni man friend, hata kama ni nani. Unajua in life saa zingine tunakuwa na ule mtu na trust. Saa zingine hata
expect that atakusaidia but asikie tu.
Akusikize tu. Hata asipokusaidia, akusikize tu. Unaona, yani that shoulder to lean on. Unapata vizuri. Wenda uongee na yeye. You will feel so relieved. Okay. Yes. Another thing, when you share, there is someone, unajua saa zingine tunasema unaweza ona mtu unaogopa kumwambia na huyo ni mtu amekusaidia kabisa.
Deputy Jesus.
Yes. Wanasemanga destiny helper.
Destiny shepherd.
Yeah, destiny shepherd. Uko na destiny shepherd unatenda ngapi na lakini huwezi kumwambia chochote kwa sababu unaogopa atakusengenya.
Yes.
Kama umepata, just talk to her, talk to him. Huyo mtu ataweza kukusaidia. As much as utakuwa relief, ataweza kukusaidia. Alafu another thing, you realize ukishare out, kuna mtu atakwambia mzee, Mungu afadhali. Mimi kwangu ni ubaya. Kuna waka moto. Wewe tu ni moshi.
Kwangu ni fireworks.
Kwangu ni fire. Utarudi nyumbani utalia nani? Utaanza kuombea yeye. Yeah, and for you, utasikia uko poa kabisa. Yeah.
I have a question. Okay. Let's take an example, kwamba you have this person who is a destiny shaper or your role model or your mentor. When you have issues, you go to them. And then this destiny shaper, sasa maybe yeye ndo anaonekana ako stressed, ako strong, they have everything going for them. Alafu yeye sasa depression in chape. This destiny shaper, what will be their way out of depression?
You know, we are all human beings. Na lazima hizi challenges lazima tupitie. They are not perfect.
Yes.
Sasa hata unaweza kuja kumsaidia kwa sababu kusaidia. Unaipata? You know, sometimes we learn from what we undergo. Yeah?
Yes.
Wewe unaweza undergo shida. Mimi nikuje nikusaidie mpaka utoke kwa hiyo shida. Next year mimi nami ni undergo hiyo shida.
Same.
Utasema wewe umenisaidia acha niende nini? As much as mimi naweza handle, but I also need someone to be near me. Or to empathize with me.
Yes.
So utataka pia kuna kumsaidia. Yeah.
And now kuna hii concept ati just do good na usingoje what do they say? Tenda wema nenda zako. And you're here saying kwamba mimi nikikusaidia maybe next year unaweza nisaidia. Should people do good expecting kwamba I am doing good because maybe this person I'm doing good to kuna wakati atanisaidia ama you just do
no forget. For me nafanya mtu mazuri si ati na expect kutoka kwake. Maybe there is another person mwenye hata sijui will come in for me. So if you do something expecting ya kwamba huyu mtu atakusaidia, my sister, you will not into depression. Because utakanga tu expect ni yeye. But if psychologically you prepare yourself ya kwamba I'm just giving back to her, to him. Yeah? But see ati na expect anything just in case she will come in or he will come in.
It's okay.
But if she doesn't, well and good. Someone else will come in for you. And I know one thing I believe ni kwamba ukijitokeza kusaidia mtu, jamaa hata wewe kuna siku ukipata shida, kuna mtu atakuja kusaidia hata hujui. That can never be your relative, your brother or anything.
It's actually true.
It's true. Yeah. And me experience, by the way, experience.
Tell us about postpartum depression, Rose.
Postpartum depression is that kind of depression in mwanamke ambaye amejifungua kupata. I think it only takes around 3 months after giving birth. Yeah, na in most cases, sijui kama umaisikia kwamba kuna mwanamke amedunga mtoto wake kisu.
Hata mchanga.
Na unajiuliza, unajua watu wanajiuliza, na mama kijake ni mzuri kweli.
Yes.
You know this woman is undergoing a lot. Huyu mama amekuwa na ujauzito, amezungukana, amekuja kaza.
Yes.
Haja kumzika mtoto ndio yeye ameingia. Nduru iko kwa ndio huyo nduru. Huyu mama anafaa kukula, wakati anaanza tu kukula hivi mtoto anataka kunyonya. Hana mtu wa kumsaidia. Nguo ni yeye anafua, everything, you know. Sometimes wengine hata hawana cha kukula. You know, with those women that have given birth, they need someone to be near them. Yeah? Anataka mtu wa kumsaidia. Anataka mtu wa kukaa karibu na yeye. Anataka mtu wa kumbebea mtoto angalau alale. Ameenda labor, wengine wamechukua wiki mzima kuandaa labor, hajawahi lala. amezaa mtoto, amekuja, akifika hivi mtoto ni maduru the whole day 24 hours. Niambie mama nini inaenda kwa akili zake. But akiwa na mtu ambaye anaweza msaidia, hata kama mtoto atalia anazunguka na yeye huko nje, lakini at least anapata kale pesa uzingizi. Yeah, it's good. Tena amka at least hapo mind zake ziko fresh.
Do you think a woman that is going through postpartum depression can also affect the partner in that home to also be depressed?
Yeah, it can be, but in most cases, these men, most men wakipata wanawake wao wamejifungua daily, wanapata kuna mali wanaweza enda kutulia. Mtu ataenda atakaa kwa baba kunywa kidogo, akirudi analala tu. Unajua kuna wanaume wanalalanga tu watoto wakilia usiku, wanamwambia nalala na mtoto wako. Last week on Twitter there was a story. There's a lady they did a baby shower for her. They brought hizo pamoja zote zenye wanaleta kwa baby shower, pampers, stuff. Then when Corona happened, the husband lost his job. So from March, this guy didn't have a job. They did the baby shower, and I think she produced, some few months back. And then huyu mwanamke akaanza tu issue kwamba this guy anunue pampers, alete kila kitu ama asirudi kwa hiyo nyumba. And this guy, the most he could do is to be a casual laborer. Alikuwa anaenda anatafuta kazi za mjengo na anarudi. You see, can we say that woman was undergoing postpartum depression? Bearing in mind kwamba alikuwa na vitu za baby shower ziko tu, but now she's now influencing, I don't know, whatever she was trying to influence on the man, alete hizi vitu na najua this man, the most he could do at that time was at least kutafuta rent na chakula yao ya kula. That man wasn't doing postpartum depression, but instead alikuwa amekataa kukubali the situation ya the husband.
Yes.
As much as everything iko hapo, yeye anataka ile life yenye amepanga before. Now lakini sasa bwana anapoteza kazi, but hajakubali. Unaona? And that hiyo ndio ilikuwa inamsumbua. And in fact that is what is killing most of our youth. Yeah. Wamekataa kujikubali
wenye wako. Okay. Is there any correlation between depression and also menopause? Mtu akifika menopause, whatever happens to the brain, can it also qualify as depression? Kwa sababu unapata kuna wengine wazazi wetu wamezeeka na anaanza kupitia tu hizo vitu zenye umesema, withdraw, poor appetite, wengine hawakuli. Ukipata kama ni baba yako anaenda kukunywa kwa bar asubuhi hadi jioni, akirudi maybe anapigia madema kelele ama anataka kupiga hivyo, ama hata kama ni mama wakati anaingia depression, unapata tu mama yako ameanza tu kukua tu mkali, kila saa ni kugombana tu kwa nyumba, kitu tu kidogo anagombana. Can you also say that during menopause there is depression?
Yeah, there is that.
And is it a natural occurrence kwamba ni depreciating age and also the brain factor, ama tu ni pia stress related maybe from circumstances zenye zina,
you know, in the current generation hakuna mtu anataka kuzeeka, sio?
Yes.
Na sasa miaka pia inasonga so miaka ikisonga na you know your face is like
cold, yes.
And you know nataka kukaa poa, you know kiasi na kusumbua. Na usipojikubali then you will end up into depression. And that's why unapata hata wazazi wetu wengine they just end up. So wana create hizo macros ndogo just to defense mechanism. But actually they are undergoing depression. Mama anataka kulala na tights na sasa uzuri imekataa. Anataka kuenda mahedi na hedi ndio imekataa.
Maisha imemkuta.
Yeah, so she end up into depression. But actually if they can find someone to prepare them psychologically, you know, easy things we don't have to assume. Yeah, we just have to prepare these people psychologically, like those people who are going for retirement very soon. Yeah, hao watu wanafaa kuitwa, wanaongeleshwa, now wanaanza kuwa prepare psychologically. Yeah, wakiwa sawa.
So stress or depression ya mtu mwenye akona retirement benefits na mtu mwenye amekuwa self-employed, is it the same kweli?
mwenye kuna retirement benefits, unajua kuna stress ya wale watu wenye wanaafektiwa ni wale wamekuwa wakifanya kazi na hawajakuwa safe. So anajiuliza, nimekuwa nikitoka asubuhi hizo miaka zote nikienda katika depression. But yule mtu amejenga tu vizuri. It's rare upata
Thank you, Mary Sheila, for tuning in. Judy, I see you. Mike One, Golden Nyota, Wanda Habi, and Nelima Agatha, thank you for being our most credible fans. Classical not watch. Stay being a fan, continue sharing the page, continue being with us. Unatupatia support mingi sana, and we do this show for you. Rose,
yes.
Kuna depression nyingine yenye haiwezi kuwa treated kabisa like huyu atajaribu kabisa haiwezi.
That's the chronic part.
Okay.
One solution is that the chronic part. Yeah, ndio kwa 20% mtu mwenye ako depressed kabisa atarudi nyuma. Lakini 80% they end up committing suicide.
So
and killing.
Killing another person or just themselves.
Yes. So na situation yenye baba anakuja homa anafika mama watoto wote like that. Maybe recently there was a woman mwenye alikuja tu akakata mwanake hapana jembe akamlima tukichwa. You see such a situation. Huyu mama as much as tulikuwa tunamwona huyu mama ako sawa, but ndani alikuwa anasema lazima huyu mtu nafanya kitu. Unapata. So huyu mtu ni mtu mwenye angeongeleshwa maybe amerudi nyuma because huyu kijana ni mtoto wa mtu. Yeye pia ni mtoto wa mtu. At least if you hate someone, spare this someone for the people that love you more. Yeah.
Okay. So Roselyne, what ushawahi kuwa na stress, ushawahi kuwa depression, ama what drove you into this sector of depression na kila kitu about it?
The reason why I started the organization.
Yes, the organization ama whatever you started, ni kwamba uliwahi kuwa na stress ukasema because I went through, sometimes kuna watu wanasema mimi, okay, I have a cousin, he's a doctor, and when we were young, the dad died. I remember I was around 4 years, and this was my cousin, I was 5, she was 4, and we were there at the casket, tunangalia because this one was my uncle, and she said, at 4 years, she said, Mama, she was now referring to the mom, Mama, mimi ningekuwa daktari baba yangu angekufa. As I speak right now, she's a doctor. That is like, she grew up with that. Akasema, me, I'm going to become a doctor, and that is what she is right now. So is it the same for you?
For me, first of all, stress and depression is a social problem. I'm a social worker. And that was, I thought that is my career part of it. And also, of course, as a human being, I do undergo. Yeah, in life, of course, we undergo that stress that almost led me to depression. And also, there has been high rate of killings and suicide. Unaona like unafika mahali umegonga mwamba, then jioni unawatch TV unapata watu watano, sijui watu Kakamega mtu amenyonga, sijui wapi mtu amedungwa kisu, sijui wapi mtoto amerushwa kwa maji, and then you think like, how about my kids? Yeah, and that's one thing I realized is that most of the people actually came from the vulnerable background, or of the vulnerable groups. Yeah, and we have psychologists, but these psychologists are basing so much on these psychologists actually came.
And you have to pay to talk to them. Sometimes I can't afford this.
What about the poor? They need a shoulder to lean on.
Yes.
So I had a push. Actually, I had a push. I was almost depressed on this. For 1 week, I could not talk to anyone. I could do nothing, and one day I just decided to just come out and talk about stress and depression. You know, I could go to churches, I could go to groups and talk to these women, and the response was very, very positive. So I realized that that really motivated me to go on and do what I'm doing. And the support has been very, very positive, especially from the Catholic Church, here, because when I started this program, actually I started it as a passion. Unaona ile unaamka tu kwa nyumba, leo nataka kwenda shirika fulani. Then you wake up na organize unaenda. So nikafanya hivyo Alafu ikafika mahali, I wanted to talk to, I'm a Catholic, so I wanted to talk to Jumuias. I wouldn't go to Jumuias without our priest's permission. So I had to visit Father Mercy, who is our parish priest here in Busia. I talked to him. He gave me that opportunity to visit our Jumuias. So I had to visit the Jumuias, and the response was very positive, and of course that motivated me to move on. Actually, I didn't mind about the money. Mimi nilitaka tu fulfill my heart desires. And actually, it has been very positive, and for me, talking to people is like, I'm okay. Naweza ongea na watu na nikose kukula, and I'm very much okay. Yes.
Can we say that talking to people maybe is your coping mechanism for something maybe that is lacking in your life, ama unafanya tu because it's a calling?
No, for me, as I had told you before, ni kitu yenye niliandago kidogo. Of course kila mtu ameandago. Na wale wameandago hawakuwa na hiyo wakutaka kuongelelea. So for me it's like it's a call. Because remember, I'm a social worker, I'm not a psychologist, but I am a counselor. So after coming up with this organization, of course we have psychologists ndani. Tuko na psychologists ambao wako ndani
ya organization.
Yes. So yeah, when support mali kuna complications more wanabikani. Yeah, but for me it has been actually, I started it last year. That was 2019. Yeah, 2019 in June. We registered the organization in 2020 January. And so far, in fact, we have been awarded as a promising community initiative by the Disabled and the government.
Nice. What are your achievements so far? Any challenges?
Achievements, of course, we've been awarded as a promising community initiative. That was very motivating for us, and it keeps me moving. And through the initiative that I started, I've been also recognized as a gender-based violence champion. So that also motivates me, because kama singeanzisha hii initiative, hizo vitu zote ningepata wapi? Sindio, singekuwa bado nimekaa hapo.
Yes.
Yeah, it's through that initiative that I was able to be a community youth champion. Nimekuwa gender-based violence champion in 5 different countries. And also the response in the community has been very, very positive. Wakati wa COVID tumesaidia watu sana. We were able to donate some masks to bodaboda riders. Nimekuwa able kuongea kwa bodaboda riders. Hao ni watu wamekuwa wakiandagua a lot. Unaona yule bodaboda anatoka huko na ride motorbike anaingia kwa trailer. Si eti ametaka kuingia. Those guys undergo a lot. Mtu anaendesha motorbike lakini mawazo imejaa. Hajui watoto watakula nini. Hiyo motorbike lazima aende alipe sijui 400 end of the day. Anabaki na 200. Anataka sukari, anataka mboga, anataka unga. Mawazo inakuwa mingi. So kuna baadhi ya wale ambao tunaongea na wao. Stories za GBV pia tumeaddress. And the response has been very, very positive. As much as we hatujafikia watu wengi, but
that is so impactful. Hata sikuwa nimewahi fikiria kitu kama mimi naonanga tu bodaboda akiingia kwa trailer is just being reckless. And now you're telling me sometimes inaweza kuwa tu undergoing through something.
Yeah, actually we always assume. Kama juzi, you know, sometimes kama juzi nilikuwa napita tu hapa kwa barabara. Hizi vibanda zimejengwa huko kwa barabara kando. Mzee mwingine anatokea huko, mzee tu wa makamu, anatokea na anaanza kutusimu mama amejenga kibanda, na mwambia, "Wewe mama, wewe ni mjinga sana. Mbona unaweka kibanda kwa barabara?" Na yeye kutoka asubuhi ni watu wangapi wamepita hapo kwa kibanda. Huyu mama pia anatafuta, si ndio? Huyu mzee mimi nilimwangalia tu na nikasema huyu mzee ako na shida. If I ningekuwa na uwezo ningemsimamisha nimuongeleshe. And actually people are very bitter out here. People are undergoing a lot, especially wakati wa COVID. Juzi on Sunday nilikuwa naenda huko the other side. Mzee mwingine, so I was just passing hapa kando. Mzee mwingine akatoka kwa motorbike na mguu ikaniguza. Then I was like, kuna kulikuwa kumenyesha, nikamwambia, unanigonga. Wewe mjinga sana. Kama unataka karibu na nini? Wewe unaona mguu hivi. So I was like, this man must be very bitter. And you know, huyu ni mtu mkubwa na babu ya watoto. Unaona? So I realized this person. For me, nimekuja kugundua ya kwamba ukiona mtu kama huyu anarusha hivyo, huyo mtu kuna vitu zinamsumbua, lakini hajapata mtu wa kumwongelesha.
Can you comment on COVID-19 and how it has, like COVID-19 and depression, kwa sababu Mwaka, yani kila mtu is just complaining about, and for a strange reason people think 2020 kiisha pia corona itakuwa imeisha, which is not the reality. Just like for us who are affected by it in major ways.
Yes. Kwanza watu wamepoteza kazi. Yeah. Watu walikuwa wanaishi Nairobi, bibi wanaishi huku. Mtu amepoteza kazi, amekuja amerudi nyumbani. Yes. So vita ni kila siku. Life imerudi chini. Kama alikuwa anakula nyama kila siku, nini hizo sasa hizi anakula tu siku, unaona? So life imekuwa different. Another thing, rate of poverty rate imepanda. Na kupitia kwa hiyo harakati watoto wetu wamejiingiza kwa early sexual relationships. Nitasurvive. My dad anapoteza job. Anatafuta sponsor. Sponsor analala naye, anampa ujauzito, anampa 50 bob, anampa 1000. Hiyo ujauzito anaenda kubeba for 9 months.
Watoto wanaenda mpaka 18 years.
Yeah, so it has really ujauzito wasichana wetu wamepata mimba za mapema wengi. Of which hata wakifungua shule ni wachache sana watarudi shule. Ama wengine wataweza kurudi kwa sababu unajua the period when walipata ujauzito already washaza.
Yes.
And of course that is a very negative impact kwa communities zetu. And also kumekuwa na gender based violence at a very high rate. Watu wanapigana.
Leta pesa, hakuna pesa, sina kazi, hiyo ni shauri yako, enda utafute.
Yes. Ile peaks there. Yeah, and also kuna divorce. Wazazi wameamua tu kuseparate. Yeah.
Can't bear each other.
And they cannot. Yeah. And also kuna watoto pia wameanza kujitafutia. Yeah, mtoto anaamua tu anaenda kujitafutia kazi zake, kufulia watu huo, kufanya nini. Yeah, vitu kama hizo.
Do you have donor funding for your organization?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yes.
Okay. So it's just a voluntary basis.
Yeah, it's just you cannot as much as we have a push to do it. You always catch no kongoja tu wacha sasa donor atakuja tu ndio nianze. When you have a push you just do it whether you have money or not.
Okay.
Yeah. See, some of the things that tumefanya ni kama on time we had a mental health day.
Okay.
Actually, we don't have donors that we know support your program, but through KCB Bank, wanted to support, Absa Bank, wakati support, yeah, other organizations, yeah, just to, like at least we actually did to target 300 youths. But tukapata around 250, which was a plus for us. Actually, CCD, the Collaborative Center for Gender Development, ili to support sana because walitudonetia vitu fulani, candies, boxers, masks and sanitizers tukapata.
Okay.
Yes.
So now, when you wake up on Monday, can you give us an insight on what you do on Monday through to Friday? For you as Roselyne, your organization and kila kitu, how many are you in the organization? What do you do on a daily basis?
You know what we are tackling is actually very sensitive. Mambo na mental health. So sometimes we just have to create some time ya kupumzika. Kwa sababu unaweza inaga kila siku kabeba shida za watu kajibu.
Ukairudi nazo kwako. Hawezi acha kwa gate hapa baraka.
Unaweza toa mtu wenda wazimu kaurudia wewe mwenyewe. So I just have to have time for myself. Sometimes I just have to spend at home at least one day a week. Then siku zingine I just go and spend with my friends to cheke kidogo.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a group by the name CYC Community Youth Champions. Actually, we are good friends. We are 12 CYCs in Busia County under the Border Hub, an organization.
Yes.
So sometimes we just go at the Border Hub. We have stories. We have.
I know Abukayo from Border. Hi, Abukayo from the Border Hub.
Yeah, so those days are so good. Actually, ukiwa tuna yani unaenda tu unacheka ndani unakuwa uko relieved. Yeah. So sometimes I just create some time tunakaa nao, some activities mingi tunafanya na wao, like your gender based violence, yeah. So lakini siku zingine We are tuko na mikutano za kwenda, tuna reach out kwa watu, but I don't do it sana because I can was depressed.
Okay. If I want to be a member of your organization, what are the requirements?
You have to register 1,000.
Okay.
And then after registration, that will show how serious you are. Then you can join.
What do you mean by okay? What is the threshold for my seriousness?
For you to show how serious you are, you have to register. When you say,
so, there's a two leap and maybe you just want to, you know, like jina mtu ikuya.
No. You have to attend meetings. Kama kuna kitu volunteer kufanya, because for now we don't have no sort of sema tutakupea kitu. Sisi wenyewe in fact mimi mwenyewe na volunteer. Sasa mimi nitakulipa nini?
Yeah. Do you have another small Red Cross?
Yes, but we are hoping for the best because you see, once we were added as a promising community initiative, then it's actually a promising one. Yes.
Okay, sometimes you are talking about mental health. Is depression a brain, like is it a brain disease? It's something that it is, can I say, in the soul or in the heart or in the mind? Like it's not physically, yet ni akili. Like unaweza piga hivi useme uko na shida ya kiakili. It's psychological.
Yeah, it affects the mind.
So if I go and scan my brain somewhere, ionekane hapa uko na kitu fulani, can it be determined kwamba you have a brain condition through a brain scan? Can you determine depression through a brain scan? Ama tu hiyo tu iko tu hivyo kivyake?
What hivyo kivyake? Like, you know, the way we behave is when the apple you sort of put up and then they want to do some scanning and all that and find out,
Nice. What's your favorite time of the year, Roselyne? Because umetuambia hapa, like, sometimes you spend with your friends, sometimes with your family. Most of the time you're volunteering for things. What's your favorite time of the year? December.
Yeah.
Why? What's so special about December?
December, I just want to have some good time, have a rest, because it's all means zingine actually I'm up and down. Like now, okay, since we started the organization, now this is the 2nd December,
Yes.
Yeah, but we have activities, but after those activities, I just want some good time for myself. I can go somewhere and relax, away from Pussy account, maybe I go to Italy. Yeah,
Italy is your home?
Yes.
Are you happy? What makes you happy?
What I do makes me happy. You see, when I reach out to people and I those sad faces and I see a smile on their face, for me, actually, I become very happy because I know there's something positive that I've impacted into someone and I have added a day to his or her life.
Do you love singing? Sometimes when you're depressed, listen to music, sing.
Sure. Yeah, I love singing.
What's your song? Like, song of the moment. This year it was Jerusalem. What is your song for the moment?
It's Rukiyo.
Utaunda song. Na umesema unapenda kuimba. Turuke hiyo.
Na Jerusalem basi.
Do you have an experience that you went through yenye it was your turning point and something just clicked in your mind and you decided to walk away? Because you've talked very good about depression and stuff, and I'm very sure there is somebody listening to us. And you know, sometimes there is that one moment kila mtu anakuanga nayo kwa maisha that you speak about it and you also impact somebody and asema, if Rose did it, if Onana did it, then I'm also going to do it.
Mimi kuna tu in fact ndio nianze kuongelea ile depression. I had a friend mwenye alisema nisiwahi kutaja jina yake hata siku moja.
We all have that one friend.
Yes, I have a friend mwenye aliniambia nisiwahi kutaja jina yake hata siku moja kwa kenye kilifanya aseme sijawahi jua. Actually yeye ndio alifanya nikaanza kuongelea digestive and depression, because I had some issues zenye zilikuwa zinanisumbua, and it's not even a relative, and it's not even my child mate. But once I talked to her, to him, ni mzigo wangu nilimwachia. Yeah. Okay. So wakati nilimwachia mzigo wangu na nikafeel niko relate. Then I thought of these guys wenye wako na shida, they have no one else to talk to.
Yeah.
And when I started, hapo mwanzo when nilikwambia, when I wanted to start this organization, I had a dream. Na ikawa inanipush like the whole week. Ikawa inanisumbua. That's the same person I went and shared with. Nikamwambia, kuna kitu inanisumbua, but I just need to talk to you.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that we need to address the issue of stress and depression. Akaniambia, how are you going to do it now that you don't talk? Unakonga tu umenyamaza. Nikamwambia, I don't know. But akaniencourage that you can do it. So tukawa tunasomekana, it's a long story, but to cut it short, aliniencourage. And up to now, he's so happy for me. Yeah, though aliniambia nisiwaita jina yake.
We all have those ones. We all have those ones. Yes. So if you won 1 million Kenyan shillings today, what would be the first thing you would do with that cash?
Actually, ningependa kujenga a place where people will come and share their stories.
Like a serenity camp, sort of.
Yeah. In escape. But actually I could get a place where people will come, share their stories, talk about themselves, and development issues. Yeah.
Housewife or career woman?
Yeah.
What do you prefer? Do you prefer to be a housewife or a career woman?
I prefer to be a career woman.
Why?
Because if mambo ya kutegemea wanaume ndio wanafanya watu waingie depression.
Wanakuwa depressed. I can be comfortable like kwa nyumba as long as my husband brings everything.
You do not do
and my focus is on the kids and making the home. Okay, let's say you have a husband anakwambia Rose, staki ukwe na issues that unaenda, the boss is on your neck, the supervisor is on your neck, the manager is on your neck, and then you have those colleagues that have office intrigues. I don't want them to be on neck. I want you to be a beautiful wife and a focused mother to our kids. Please come back home. Nitakupatia kila kitu yenye unataka. Would you forego your career to be a housewife?
I wouldn't encourage anyone to do that. Given an opportunity ya kazi, just take it. Kwa sababu you never know what tomorrow carries. Actually, you never know what tomorrow carries. Huyu bwanako mwenye anakuprovide everything akikufa leo, kwanza utafukuzwa maybe. Inaweza kufukuzwa na familia yake. Ama utakaa, wengine watakusaidia, wengine watakuinherit. Unanipata vizuri. But if you have your own money, you will be able to do what you want to do. Unanipata vizuri. Na kesho hii kuona kiamua kuoa second wife, what will you do?
So you're also basically just saying money sanitizes depression in some type of way.
Yeah, in a console. If you have your own money and uko depressed, hata utaenda tu na hiyo pesa yako kaima hadi relax wa mtu ukule tu ushibe tu. Sasa uko depressed na una tabu.
Sasa hiyo tabu ndio ya shida. Heels or flat shoes?
Zote.
Awali chagua moja.
C6 inch.
Wewe ni wa 2-1 because of height ama unaweza shape wa
okay. I'm a bit comfortable with that. Yes.
What was your lowest moment of 2020? Everybody just cried about 2020. Do you have a low moment of this year? And what are you looking forward for in 2021? Lowest moment. Kama wewe kukua nayo, I mean there are people that hata corona ijawafe. Haijawafe.
You see, for me, the lowest moment is this sema nimekuwa nayo. Because for me, kwanza the corona part imenifanya nimefanya vitu mingi, nime-reach out kwa watu, nime-donate masks, sanitizers, naongea na watu, nimefanya tu hizi vitu zangu, so yangu ilikuwa inatulia kwa hizi vitu nimekuwa nikifanya. So hata the negativity part mimi sijaona sana. Na kama nimeiona basi ni yeah, you know, with me I just the negativity part is spending. I always take the positivity out of negativity. So I just don't the negativity part for me. I'm not.
What's the best compliment you have received so far in life? Best compliment kwa maisha yako yenye ushawahi get ni gani hiyo?
Can I say being
it can be from any person, not even necessarily people that are close to you or your loved ones. Kuna tu maybe mtu mwenye uliwahi muongelesha and they gave you a compliment that continues to ring in your head kila siku. Na also maybe inakupatia hiyo motivation to continue with what you do.
You know, most of my people, especially when you're in the organization, you know, some people used to view me differently because I never used to talk to, you know, but now they say there was something in you that was hidden. Yeah, so what I mean is, hey, you have a heart. You know, it only takes a heart to heal a heart. So actually they are very positive. They are positive. Yeah. So yeah. So that motivates me actually too.
So you have told us that life events, continuing difficulties, long-term unemployment, living in abusive or uncaring relationship, long-term isolation, loneliness, and prolonged work stress, ndo vitu zenye zina cause depression, right? So is there hope? So kuna mtu mwenye as in everlastingly tu hana job, ama ako in an abusive relationship, ama yeye anapanga tu mtu akuji-isolate tu. There are people that hata hawananga tu marafiki. In fact, like sahi kwa maisha ni hard sana upate ati watu wanakuwaga na marafiki. Wanasemaga tu afadhali ni kwetu kivyangu. What is the way out for such kind of people, such kind of a situation? Kulingana na venye umetuambia, watu wenye tu wanakuwaga tu na continue difficulties. Leo ni hii, kesho ni hii. Yeah. What is
there are such people in life and they're just there to balance nature. But now, unajua kuna tu watu wagumu katika maisha. But such people wakipata mtu mwenye anaweza approach na ongeleshe, they can just come back to their senses. Yeah, but unajua we were born differently. Kuna tu wale watu wagumu wenye wanasema tu they wanakuanga tu hivyo introverts. Yeah, so we just understand such people and tujifunze kuishi na wao.
Comment about church and depression.
Church.
Yes, and church and depression. Because so wengine watu wanapitia maneno like, now let's take an example of an abusive marriage. You're in a marriage, you are wedded legally in church. Both you and your husband go to the same church. And then your husband is this violent man, alikuja tu akachange kabisa. And you go to church, you expect, maybe you want to make a decision kwamba this marriage is done. Unaona tu there is no love in this marriage, there is no going back. Hapa hakuna like irreconcilable differences. Hakuna venye kunaweza make. Unajua unapata hata pia bwana ameenda ameoa another wife or even two, several. And you go to church, you want to talk it out. Sometimes wanakwambia mtu wa church anakwambia tu endelea kuvumilia, rudi kwa hiyo marriage. God is going to make a way. I want you to comment about church.
There's no way how God is going to make a way. Mungu hakuna shida. Mungu pia anabeba shida anatoka. You as a human being make your own way. Wewe ukitaka kukaa, let this person make a, just talk to her but let her make a decision. Kwa sababu wewe ni wewe mwenyewe. Unaishi maisha yako wewe mwenyewe. Once I'm married na bwanangu ananipiga kila siku na anasema lazima nisitoke kwa hiyo ndoa. I'm the wearer of the shoe. Kama utakaa uchinjwe, it's up to you. Siwezi kwambia utoke kwa ndoa, but make a decision yourself. Na mtu mwenye anajichukia atakaa achinjwe. So for me, mimi siwezi sema tuke kwa ndoa, but make a decision, a wise decision. If you want to die into marriage kwa sababu ya ndoa, then die. But mimi siwezi kwambia pia utoke kwa hiyo ndoa, but you have to make a wise decision yourself. Ni watu wangapi wameuliwa kwa ndoa?
Wengi sana.
Na mtu akitoka kwa ndoa hii aenda atulie kidogo ndio maybe arudi baadaye. Singeishi maisha yake. Akufanya kitu penye Mungu alimpangia. Yeah, so
I think this concept of till death do us part, it really needs to be revised. Yes. Do we need like professional counselors in a church setting to handle like marriage squabbles and stuff? Because sometimes your counseling it's religion-based type of counseling, and sometimes it's not applicable. Najua kama sasa mimi, maybe I went through stuff in my marriage, and for a good or strange weird reason, my marriage worked out. Nilikaa ngumu na ikahappen. Na unapata hawa ndio wamama wenyewe huwa wana counsel wenzao, and it's not that they are professionals, unajua, and there's a very big difference between mtu mwenye has studied psychology and counseling. They can sit and actually see things and wanaona hii situation cannot be redeemed as compared to mwenye tu.
Wacha nikwambie kitu. Ni kama daktari. Kuna madaktari ambao wamesoma hadi no class ahead.
Yes.
Lakini akienda kudili na mgonjwa hana ile passion. Ni kusoma alisoma but hana passion. Unanipata vizuri? Na hapo ndio unapata hata wagonjwa wengine wanauliwa, wanakufa. Because huyu daktari hana ile nia kuhandle huyu mgonjwa. Sawa? So mwana wanakimbia wakikufa kila kujifungua kwa sababu amemisanduliwa na daktari. Hata yuko passion yake. Na kuna wale ambao wamekuja hapo na passion. Na kuna mtu ambaye anaweza fanya hiki kitu vizuri na kama inge hajaisomea. Unanipata vizuri? So there are these two different people here. As much as kuna wenye watasomea, but kuna ile mtu anaweza ifanya. I don't know if you getting me, but I don't know if you getting me.
I'm getting
yeah. So having professionals, yes, they can add value. But for now, if you go stressed out and you want to commit suicide, just go. Rudi tu nyuma kidogo. Think about your kids. Think about your father mwenye alikuza shamba na kupeleka shule for the best life. Think about that person who loves you.
And also the people you're going to leave behind.
Kwa sababu there is that high rate of suicide now wote hawezi wafikia hapo mashinani. It's high time we be counselors of ourselves now. Unaona? Ni sisi wenyewe tuwe counselors wa sisi wenyewe. Think about your life. Unanipata? Mimi usema mtu mwenye anaenda kucommit suicide ni mtu mwenye anajichukia. So it's a high time tuanze kujipenda. Kama nataka kuona wajukuu wangu, then nitaishi kama ile miaka yenye Mungu alinipangia, sio? Yeah.
Rose,
yes.
We've come to the end of the show. I want you to look into the camera and you speak to somebody about depression, about your organization as we wrap up the show.
Oh, okay. Just to wrap up, I'm just saying that first, as human beings, always prepare your heart for disappointment. Yeah? Always prepare your heart for disappointment. We don't expect disappointment, but if you prepare your heart for disappointment, when that disappointment comes, then it won't hit you hard. You won't end up into depression. You won't end up into killing yourself and killing your loved ones and all that. And another thing, life is never sweet without challenges. We have to undergo challenges to be strong. The challenge that we undergo today will make you learn that tomorrow I will do this to undergo this challenge. Instead, I will do this to overcome the challenge. Thank you.
And my word for today is I admire people who live. I don't care if it is the first time or the 12th time that you left, but I admire people who make a decision to live after a happening that is not that has been burdening you. It does not matter kama watu walikuita mjinga ama we ni fala. kukaa kwa hiyo situation maybe for 11 years, but when you made a decision to live on the 12th year, I really admire you. I admire your strength. There is hope. Make that decision. Choose self-love. Choose yourself, because there is nobody that will take care of you more than yourself. Thank you for tuning into the show, and stay put for next week. Bye.